father once said there were two warriors in the universe I should never challenge, Beerus the Destroyer and Majin Buu.
Greetings, my rare hunters! It is I, MariK! Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super deck profile. I know it's been a minute since we've done one, but we're back with another first place winning deck profile. This time it's with one of our favorite characters of all time, possibly my favorite leader from set 3, Majin Buu. The fact that we got a Majin Buu leader, and he is infinitely more fun to play than the Babidi we got in set 2, is just phenomenal to me. His ability is interesting. When this card attacks a leader card, place the top card of your deck under this card, and then if there are 2 or more, you can draw a card. So, after your first attack, you can keep drawing cards before awakening, which is really dope. Majin Buu is one of the leaders that when he awakens, he switches 2 of your energy back to active mode. I thought not getting that draw was going to hurt, but I'll be honest, having the ability to reset 2 energy whenever you need to is fantastic and definitely helps this deck itself. On the awakened side, we've got Majin Buu completely revived. His auto has the same effect once per turn when he attacks. Place the top card from the deck underneath him and then draw a card. The difference here is he can get the ability without having to attack the leader. He also has an activate main that says choose 5 cards under this card, place them in the drop area, then switch this card to active mode, and it gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. You can do that multiple times if you have more than 5. If you have 10, you can do it twice, and then he'll gain the 5,000 and keep the other 5,000. It's really fantastic, and I've actually dumped 10 cards in one go and swung 3 times with him. I'm kind of upset that the Kid Buu side is the foil side. I wish the Majin Buu could have been a foil, but hey, either way. We're going to put Majin Buu back here with the winner's mat that we got. I took this one over the Ultra Instinct one because it has Vegito front and center. Vegito is one of my favorite characters. It's got Bardock over on the side. It's got this Kid Buu over here, which all of these are card art except for that Kid Buu. So I'm expecting to see more Majin Buu support with set 4. Makes enough sense since we did get the Awakened Leader art that was on the back of the Zamasu sleeves from set 2 before he was even revealed, so I can see them doing that again. Now for the actual deck. The first cards that went into this deck, no doubt, were 4 energy boosted Majin Buu. I mean, he's a perfect one-drop for this deck. He fits the theme, but not only is it relevant that he fits the theme, he also fits some of the cards that you can use in the deck as well. Plus, he's a great one-drop. You get to draw that extra card. I chose him over Babidi because the one-drop Babidi, while in theory you're like, awesome, we have a one-drop specific for this deck, I don't really care to add a Majin Buu to my hand. Most of them you kind of want in the deck so that you can get them out with their evolve abilities. Whereas this Majin Buu just gets you a draw and he can't miss. I just feel like the Majin Buu one-drop is the best one-drop there is. Next up, we run 4 Majin Defier West Supreme Kai. This card came in so clutch. I didn't have this in the deck initially during my very first rough drafts with playtesting, but she quickly ended up going in. She is fantastic. Basically, you play her for 2, and then you can use her as energy cost for any of your cards, even if she's in the battle area. So you would just tap her as a battle card to use her as energy, which is really handy. It basically puts you 1 energy ahead. It's like Objection, except you don't have to minus yourself as much. She also has Barrier, so as long as you don't have her tapped, she's not going to be destroyed very easily. She can't be KO'd by card effects, and outside of cards like Jiren that can attack her in active mode, which I never played against. So she was a really valuable asset for sure. One of the main cards for the deck is Out of Control Evil Majin Buu. Now this card is the core of the deck. He's got critical, which is fantastic, so you can play him, swing for 1, and do some crit damage. You can Union Absorb for 1 energy, And basically you play a battle card from your hand under him. You choose a blue Majin Buu with energy cost 5 to play it on top of him. And there's 2 different ones you can search for, but we only ran one of the 2. Let's start with the battle card you place underneath him. We ran 4 Majin Defier South Supreme Kai. Now this card is good on its own. He's a 3-drop with crit, and his auto says when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and return it to their hand. So you can basically make them have to play their cards again, make them have to waste energy. You can bounce blockers back, you know, whatever, assuming they haven't blocked. But the big focus to running him is you Union Absorb him underneath Out of Control Evil to bring out Power Absorbing Majin Buu, which we also run 4 of these. With this leader, it is very imperative that you run 4 of every card, simply because you don't know how many are going to be in your life, how many you're going to draw, how many you're going to end up stuck under Majin Buu. So it's very necessary to run 4. The cool thing about this Majin Buu is you can Union Absorb him, or you can just evolve him on top of South Supreme Kai for 4 energy. I've had to do that. It's not preferable, but if it's necessary, it's very easy to do in this deck. What's cool is he has dual attack, so he can attack twice, but his activate main is what really makes him spicy. It says choose 1 South Supreme Kai underneath this card, gain all of the chosen card's effects for the duration of the turn. So now he's a dual attack crit that can bounce 2 battle cards in 1 turn. And 25k dual crit, like either they're taking the crit or they're dumping a lot of cards from their hand just to prevent that damage, which either way, you're the one that comes out on top. The other reason this card is extremely important is once you have him on the board, you can play the Ultimate Evil Majin Buu. This Buu is insane. He's not needed to win in this deck, but if you get him out, you are going to win. Or you're going to cause your opponent to use every resource they have to stop you from attacking. For 30,000, you EX evolve him for 1 blue energy, and you discard 2 cards. Evolve him on top of a blue Buu with 5 or more power, so power absorbing. And he has triple strike. The coolest part about this card is he says, when a card evolves into this card, switch it to active mode, and then it gains 30,000 power for the duration of the turn. So you get both of those dual crit attacks, then you play him, he re-stands himself, 60k triple strike. I have actually comboed with him during the tournament, no less, to over 100,000 power, easily. Probably one of the best cards in this deck. We also played a lot of support in this deck to help the deck flow really nicely. And 2 of the cards we ran were Majin Buu, Dawn of the Rampage. Now, I did have 3 in there. I ended up taking out 1 last minute just because I felt like there were things that I could run a little bit more important in there. Now, usually you would play him with the red Majin Buu stuff, because his ability says, you know, for 2 energy, you place a battle card under him, and choose up to 1 Awakening Evil Majin Buu, which is the red 5-drop from Union Force. However, that's not why we use him. We use him because his permanent says, when this card is under a card, the Majin Buu on top of this card gains Barrier. So, there's 2 reasons this is important. 1, if he ends up underneath your leader now has Barrier. And there are a couple cards that target your leader in this game. Planet M2 is one of them. That helped me avoid getting hit by M2. The other one is, for example, the Great Ape Bardock says choose one of your opponent's choose your opponent's leader, and it can't be switched to active mode during their next charge phase. This prevents him from being hit. Also, what you can do, and this was the main reason I had him in there beforehand, was you can do some really cheeky shit by putting him underneath Out of Control Majin Buu. Because Out of Control Evil has the same wording where it says choose up to 1. I know it's hard to see because these fucking sleeves. There you go. Choose up to 1 Majin Buu. Since it has the same choose up to 1 wording that Cell has, you can choose 0. So if you have the energy, you Union Absorb, you place this Buu underneath him. you choose to zero Majin Buus. Then you Union Absorb again, place the South Supreme Kai underneath him, evolve him into Power Absorbing Majin Buu, and now Power Absorbing has crit, dual attack, and barrier. It's not exactly ideal, and I didn't do it often, but it was cheeky enough, and I felt like I could make a good enough use of it to put it in there. And it was definitely worth it. It's a really neat little thing you can do when you have the extra energy. And with this deck, the later you get in the game, you have extra energy. There are even turns that I chose not to charge because there was no need. And speaking of getting extra cards, we ran 3 Time Patrol Trunks. Normally I only run 2, but in this build, because you're discarding a lot of things, Time Patrol Trunks really came in clutch, running 3 of them, and again, with the leader Majin Buu, occasionally a Time Patrol Trunks will find his way underneath the leader, and that hurts. Since we're running Bluu, you know we're running 4 Unyielding Spirit Trunks. I didn't use it as much as I thought I would, but it's definitely nice to have. He did occasionally get charged, or he'd find himself underneath Majin Buu, but no reason not to run 4 of those. Then, of course, we had 4 powers combined Kibito Kai. This card also came in clutch, having the built-in Jocko ability. There was one time where it did hurt me, and I wasn't able to draw because of it, because my opponent had just comboed more than 1 card. But I had to play it to get that 10,000 power. But still, overall, definitely worth running over Piccolo. I'm sorry, Piccolo. Kibito Kai is just such a good card. Now this one we slid in right before the tournament, and we did make some use of it. We slid in 3 Furthering Destruction Champa. I was running 3 of the Dawn of the Rampage Majin Buu and 2 Bibbidi in the deck. And Bibbidi I never really used much, maybe once or twice. He just wasn't worth it. So we put in 3 Furthering Destruction Champa. Did see a good bit of play. Occasionally I had to use it defensively, but it was a nice little tech to use. I might honestly take it out and try and run 3 Raging Spirit Gohans instead. I did a little bit of playtesting after the tournament with it this way, and I like the Gohans, but they each have their own. They each have their own benefits. Gohan gives you more attackers that you can use early, while Furthering Destruction Champa to be able to use that with any of your 12 crit attackers is just nice to have too. Now, you know, since we're running Bluu, we have to run 4 Sensu Beans. No reason not to. It's especially hurtful when Majin Buu's ability sucks up a Sensu Bean. That's one of the cards you really don't want to see get placed under there, since there's really no way to get them back in this deck. We also ran 4 of the most evil absorption in history. This card is fantastic. If your leader card is Majin Buu, choose one of your Majin Buu and one of your opponent's battle cards. Place the chosen opponent battle card under the chosen Majin Buu. This card is so good, and it pisses so many people off. This is easily one of my favorite cards in the game. This card came in clutch a lot of times, so we'll get to that a bit later because, man, have I got stories to tell you about that card. Now, possibly my most favorite card, and easily the most hated card during the entire tournament, was Buu Make You Cookie. Turn into a cookie! This is my favorite card in the entire deck, possibly the entire game, just because they actually made this as a card. Not only is it your counter to negate an attack, but if your leader is Majin Buu, you can discard a card and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 3 or less and place them underneath a Majin Buu. So he literally eats one of their cards. Not only that, because this card, the way this card works, you can stop one attack with the negate and suck up another battle card, and you're essentially stopping 2 cards, 2 battles with the negate and the card you discard. It's fantastic. So round 1, we played against the Red GT deck, which I hadn't had a whole lot of playtesting against it, but when he dropped Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I wasn't even sure that we were able to survive it. But sure enough, we were able to pull it off between combos and things like that. And then, I kid you not, the following turn we charged, and the first card we played was Evil Absorption. And this card, sucking up a Super Saiyan 4 Secret Rare Goku, is the funniest thing ever. My opponent's face, he was just in disbelief that he went through all that effort and one card just undid all the work he put in. The cool thing is, because the stack of cards counts as one card, Evil Absorption sucks up the whole lot. Buu eats that entire stack. Me eat you up! Me eat you up! Me eat you! So from the pint size to the 4 drop to the 6 drop to the 8 drop, the whole thing. We proceeded to 2-0 him. Round 2, we played against Mecha Monkeys. Really was not sure how that was going to go because I had very little experience against the Mecha Monkey variant. And from everything I'd seen people talking about, I was really not looking forward to it. But, no lie, Buu Make You Cookie was the card that shut that deck down. This card alone did the finest of work. Occasionally, Evil Absorption came into play, but Buu Make You Cookie eating everything they play before they have a chance to evolve any of their monkeys was fantastic. I love this card. We proceeded to actually 2-0 Mecha Monkeys too, which was insane. I really didn't think we had it because both games he just drew everything he needed. He got awakened, he had, 4 or so energy. I don't know how the hell we managed it. Pow, 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 pow! Ow, 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 ow! I really can't tell you, because he got himself down to like a couple life, and he was just like, go, and I'm like, okay, cool. I get to play 1 energy and pass. So there wasn't really a whole lot that I could do against it, but we managed to 2-0 him, and then in the 3rd round, we played against GT Pan. Now, people sleep on the Pan Leader, but the Pan Leader is fantastic. I absolutely love the Pan Leader, but I hate to play against the Pan Leader. The sheer amount of draw power they get is insane, and it's hard for any deck to really keep up with that. We lost game 1. We went into game 2. Siding in those Legics was the best thing we could have done. Because when they dropped the 3-drop Pan, the Fearless Pan that gives everything double strike and gives it double strike and 5,000 power, having just any blocker to block that freaking double strike. And if I have a card like Kibito Kai to keep him alive for another turn, then I can do it again next turn. So Legic definitely was worthwhile in the deck. Game 2, we ended up winning, and Game 3, we were just in time, and at that point, there was just no way to go ahead and for either player to win. So we actually tied in Final 2. So we both got, a mat, we both got 4 packs, which I'm not sure how I feel about the promos we got, because I literally got 2 Fu, foil and non-foil, which I know they're going for a decent bit. But we also got 2 Frieza, foil and non-foil, which the foil on the Frieza looks dope, but as of right now, there's so much controversy and so much speculation on whether or not the cards from his ability go to the player's side or your side, the person controlling Frieza, that right now the card could be great, it could be bad. Honestly, I just want to get rid of it because I have no need for it. But anyways, that's going to be our Mono Blue Majin Buu deck profile. Personally, after having played around with the red-blue variant, I definitely think the blue variant, the Mono Blue, is better. I feel like the support is just better all around, and you can get out your main players quicker with this deck than you can with the red support. And we proved that not only can you take down the Super Saiyan 4 Goku bullshit, but you can also take down Mecha Monkeys, which is, like, I think the quote-unquote best deck available right now. So, the fact that my boy Buu, can hold his own against the best of the best in the meta just made me so happy. But if you guys enjoyed this video, or you enjoyed the deck profile, you like the deck, feel free to go ahead and try it out. Let me know in the comments below what you think, or if you have any questions regarding the deck or decisions we made. Hit that like button as well. You know, we appreciate all the support. Dragon Ball Super always gets a lot of support from you guys. We're at 210 subscribers now, which is just fantastic, and I'm hoping with all the new deck profiles we're having coming up soon from other people who have been topping events in our area, that we'll get a lot more support from you guys as well. But we're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here now, and we'll see you guys in the next video.